Here we are, episode 2. Let me start with the temperature in here. We are at 1 degree, which is like 34 Fahrenheit. So it is really cold in here, but let's keep us warm with this build. Okay, we have the chassis. We have it in a jig. We're aiming for 330 or 340 wheelbase, something like that. That's actually a bit of the goal for today, to end up somewhere around there. So in this specific episode we are going to screw this whole spine together and then hope to get the geometry more or less correct. What will we not be doing now, that is putting the axles together. They are on here but they are not ready. Rear axle is ready. There's a lot of things to be done with the front axle. Then the gearbox is also for one of the next episodes, and somehow one episode with motor and electronics, but that's for another episode. Let us start with the skid plate. We have a real flat top surface, and the bottom, as you can see, I hope you can see it, we designed it so that it has the least amount of possibility to touch the rocks, and there is a nose on here which should help to slide over the rocks rather easy. Okay, we will start screwing this in the middle of the rails. What else do we need? The sliders. We will mount them as well, because it's a 1-bolt slider, and then the chassis rail, and then the skid. So let's screw this one together first. The front one, we try to leave it over here because the link is going to go in between there. Put a front link, lower front link in here, and now it's really nice and flat. So this is a good one. We will do the other side as well, but maybe we will talk a little bit about this front link. We try to use Delrin on the lower links in the front. These are just pieces of Delrin I cut to the exact length. Then we take a 2.5mm drill, put a hole straight in the middle of this rod, and then we take a set screw, a 4x20 set screw, screw it right in the middle, and then the thread that comes out is exactly enough to put the rod end on. So that's how I make these lower links. Now this one is not complete. We are testing the links. I will give you the length of these links. So they need to be in a sander or in a drill, and then we just make them really nice, going straight over in the rod ends. When they will be finished, I will show you one. So these ones we have over here at the moment. The lower links are, let me see if I can give you a number. They are 85s. 85s for the lower front links. Let's do the last bits by hand. I have my drill so I don't break anything. The torque limiter is on the softest number, so I don't want to break anything. Let me get something to put under here.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
We can see
I've come to talk with you again.
End up something where we want to be. I will first do the front in here, and what I also will do is I will put some shocks on here. The shocks are the AliExpress fake drave shocks. They are 95. Not sure if these will be the final shocks, but for now they will do. There will be a separate video about shocks, and I will show you which Traxxas packs, pistons and seal packs you need to make these real leak free and real nice shocks. We also have boxes full of springs. We sourced them on AliExpress to make them exactly the way we want them. The shock angle will be determined by the ride height. We also have an Excel calculator, so we can see what does it do when we lay down the shock. So if you ever wonder why you were in school learning about sinus and cosinus, this is one of the times you can use it. Maybe I'll drop an Excel frame in here, or the editor will do.
It's free real estate.
But it really helps to understand what it does when the shock lays down more or less, what it does with the spring rate. We might also use some hair bands to keep them on the exact right height. I'm not sure we will do it on this vehicle. I have some who have it and others that don't have it. So not everything has to be really tight, because we have a lot of we will take this apart a couple of times more before we have it finalized. The other one bolts straight in the side of the pumpkin. This one has a nut and a bolt. Another shock. I do mount them upside down. They will be finally also mounted upside down, so I can just do that at once. Everything you see now will be probably taken apart a couple of more times. Where's the nut? Here's the nut. Sometimes you wish you had a couple more hands. If you don't have a set of pliers like these, you really should. They make life a lot easier, as you can see. Okay, so front axle, lower links are in, shocks are in on the bottom side. Now let's see if we can find something for the upper links. Starting to get messy around here. Where is this driver? These F9 axles use two different sizes. This is the 2.5mm one, and this is the 2mm one. Most are of all these big bolts are the 2.5mm ones. Now for the upper links, I don't have the exact ones I want, so for now we will just use these real strange ones. They come in the Injora link set. see, there's this electronics tray over here. I might put in a bumper. We have bumpers made by a friend of team ReVolt, Leadfoot. He has a ReVolt chassis. He already built a car with it, so, and he 3D printed some really nice bumpers. So let's put the bumpers in here. Yeah, they look nice. Well done. Alright, screws are all in. Shocks will be put in place. Let's see if we can do the rear links first. The rear links, we are using this piece, which fits in over here. So we start not over here with our rear links, but we start over here. We are using set screws. These are 20mm long 3M set screws. So one is already in from this side, and now the other one we can thread in from over here. For that we have this tool, which comes out of an old driver. This is a 1.5mm driver, and then we now put one in from the other side. Until we just see him peeking out. Now the rear links, they're already here. We make the links, we gave them an extra bend because they were only single bended. To make them exactly as long as each other, we use this RPM shock tool. It is originally meant to make your shocks exactly the same, left and right. But as you can see, we can also use it to see if our links are exactly the same.
Not because we're greedy, no, because it's what you deserve.
This one sits just exactly on 0, and then our left and right link are exactly as long as each other. Now, I forgot, but we can also see how long it is. Put it back on, and then here on top we can read that this one is 143-44 mm. So that's the length of our rear links. Really handy tool. If you don't have one, RPM shock tool. Okay, this one goes in like this, and then we put the rear links in here together, and then we use the driver. And now we are at the rear of the chassis. These are also a 2.5mm. No, then this is 2mm drive. Right, straight. Oh yeah, this is a different axle. This is a plastic axle, and this drives straight in the plastic. No bolt required. We're gonna do the same here. Just put a shock in there. And then put the link in here. This one should fit. Yep, that's a tight fit, but it fits. And now I see I've switched the rod ends around, which is a bit of a problem unless I just loosen him. Yeah, he's pointing the other way, so we will just that's not so easy. There's the shock pliers again. Let's give him one turn. That is really, so we are loosening this one. We will need to do that on the other side as well. Let's do it now before I forget. Just straight out of the package. Yeah, you will want to know how long these ones are. Since we made the bottom one longer, so there will be like 144 now. And the top ones, let me see where we did end up. Are we on 0? Yeah, that's nice on 0. We are 139. 139 and 144, so they are 5 millimeters apart. And that one is also in place. I'm going to untie this one from the jig.
I need you to unleash the beast.
So let me check out the rear. That is nice. These springs are way too stiff, but we do have a lot of articulation. Everything goes real smooth. You can see this one is the shock, and this one is also the shock, so we are really close from touching, but we are not touching. It's the shocks. The links are really close, but not touching. Okay, so that's nice. Everything moves freely. See what we can do in the front now. Yeah, these shocks are way too hard. We need other springs. So yeah, the shocks are too long, or springs are too heavy. But let's see, we have the front is also moving freely. Now there's no weight on here, but yeah, this is not. The pumpkin angle in the front is not to my liking. I think it's not too bad. However, as I can see it now, we still have a lot of caster, so it might not be so bad. I need to take a small part of this off, so I will be cutting off something like this to make room for the servo, because that's not gonna fit. But everything moves freely, and there is at this point we still have a lot of caster. I like that, a lot of caster. Maybe with a different front link, like 1 or 2 millimeters longer, or a different hole position, we might already be ending up really close with where we want to be. Let me see, just to view real quick, if we put it on tires, what it says. I might want to, but before I do that, let's put some, I need weight on here. Let's put some tires on here. Let's put a tire on here. It's not exactly right height, something like this. It's gonna be right height. Let me see How long did we end up? Where's my ruler? Oh, stay here. This is 334, 35, 135. Let's call it one.
Are you sure about that?
335 millimeters, which is in let me see, freedom units. It would be 13 and a quart. 13 and 1/4 inch. So yeah, I think I like this this length of wheel. As you can see how this goes. Let's see, some wheels on here. RC 4-wheel drive, Camp Bully tires. Yeah, this is just a jumpy boy. Now we can also see what width we did end up with. Let's see, we are on 27.5, which is 10 3/4. I bet this is almost the same. 27.5, 10 3/4. So front and rear exactly the same at the moment. Yeah, it has to sit somewhere over here, but shocks will be for another episode. Might do a complete episode on shocks if people would be interested. I need to do an episode on the front axle. A lot of things need to be done with that, but let me see if I can check what the ride height is if I stack some tires on top of it. Let me see, something like this will be nice. And then what do we have from clearance? Under the lowest point is 7. If it's completely, yeah, it will be around 7. And over here we are at 10.5 at the highest point. The waist is really has a lot of clearance. I think we ended up with correct length of links in the rear, being 139 and 144. In the front, the lowers look good. I need to clean them up and make them nice and tidy. I need to make something for the uppers. So the rear ones, the lowers are 85 and the uppers are around 80. Maybe I'll make them like 81 or 82. We'll see how that one ends up. But for now, can I put it over here? Yeah, I can. Something like this. Yeah, it will sit. It will sit. I don't know if it will do the trick. There was this awesome trick where someone put the car like this. I don't know if it will balance like that. Notice now nothing is exactly set. Was a really neat trick. I don't think this one will get there. However, when the shocks are correct, I feel there's some kind of balance over here. Yeah, maybe we might be ending up with one of those. I lost the tire. There's nothing screwed on. Let me think if there's anything else I want to say in this episode. No, I think we went over most things. I might yeah, I need to change the shocks. We will be using this gearbox. I will put this one a little bit on the side. This is a fake NOD2 gearbox. There seems to be two different kinds on AliExpress, and the one I have has 36 pinion over here. Then we have a small 12. We have another 36, and when we use another 12 pinion on the motor, we will have 12 on 36, which is 3, and then we will again have 12 on 36, which is 3. So this has a reduction with a 12 tooth pinion of 1 on 9. Most of you will know, but for those who don't know, which means when the engine spins 9 revolutions, this axle will have turned 1 revolution. So that's 1 on 9. If we want to go further in this build, it will actually sit like this, and then this one will line up really nice with this one, but it sits more like this. So we have a lot of work for. We will do this together and see where we end up. In the pumpkin, the rear has 830, which is 3.75, and the front has a 24, an 8 on a 24, which is exactly 3. That way there is no over or under drive in the gearbox. We get the over or under drive in the pumpkins on the axles, and this one gives us a nice 22.2% overdrive or underdrive, however you want to call it. Then we have the reductions in the portals. I believe these axles are 12 on 23, so another 1.92, which actually gives, I hope my editor will drop an Excel sheet on here, which helps my explaining a little bit.
King in the castle, king in the castle. Have a chair, I have a chair. Oh, go do this, king in the castle.
Would give a reduction of 52 to the front and 64 to the rear on a 3S battery. And then I would actually have to go down to a 1400 kV motor, which I don't want to do that. An 1800 will be a bit too spicy. But I already ordered the other gearbox, which has a lot more reduction in it, because that one is gonna be somewhere on 13, 14, I don't know exactly how much it will be. And then going over the same ring and pinion and the same portals, that one will give on 4S with an 1800 kV motor, and we can use 1800 kV motor. That will give a front reduction of 74 and a rear of 93. 93, meaning the engine has to spin 93 times before this reel makes 1 revolution. That's 93. The front has overdrive that only has to spin 47 revolutions of the engine is 1 turn of this one. So it's pulling a little bit. Yeah, the editor will drop both Excels on there, so you can see what we're talking about. And I think for this build I want to have a higher voltage and a lower pinion, like I don't know what we will end up with. Maybe a 14 or a 15, something like that. That's not what we will end up with. Yeah, is there anything else I want to tell you in this episode? I don't think so. I think we went over the most things. There is body mounts. They are not in here yet. Also printed by Leadfoot. He did a really nice job. He designed them, and well, I printed them, but well, Kenneth printed them, but Leadfoot designed them. And you have these body posts you can put in there, and then somewhere you can place it on here or wherever you need it to be. It fits exactly with the holes, and then there is one for the front as well. So that's really nice to have. Yeah, some not in the way of the electronics tray, but somewhere over here, and then we can have our body posts for the body. Speaking of the body, my son has been sick, so there's no. Well. If that doesn't look nice, oh man, that's gonna be so great. Looking at it now, the rear seems to be exactly perfect. We need to cut out, of course, a lot of things. And the front also. I might need to pull in that bumper for the rear one. No, I think I'm gonna pull the front bumper in one hole, and then that's gonna be real perfect. That probably doesn't show on the camera. Will the tires stay on there? Yeah, the tires stay on there, sort of, more or less. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I can see it. So I think with this we end up on this episode, and next episode will be axles, shocks, maybe combined. This rig, as you will understand, will go apart a couple of more times. Maybe we do drive shafts and gearbox the next time, together with the axles. That might be a good episode. Gearbox, drive shafts, axles in the next episode. So that will be episode 3. But for now, I have to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.